I have tried very hard to like FreeCAD 1.0 BIM, not least because it runs on a local Linux machine with local data and is free. After experimentation, however, I have concluded that it is not for me. I decided to see if I could use Designspark Mechanical, which is my go-to 3D printing application, to do some architectural drafting. I will not detail the downloading, installation, registration, and running of the free version of Designspark Mechanical, but will refer you to the link below. The free version of Designspark is limited primarily in its import and export formats. This version can only output as an STL file or as a 3D PDF file. If you want more options, such as a step file, then you have to use the paid version of Designspark or use another application for conversion. The subscription for the paid version is very flexible, and you can pay for as little as 1 month. The application and the data runs on your local machine, though you do need an internet connection to load the start page. Once the application has dialed home, then you're on your own. I'm using Windows 10 and Designspark 6.0.3. In addition, I'm using SwordSoft mouse drag to better show the cursor. The cursor is encircled with a yellow corona. In addition, the mouse clicks are identified in red for left mouse click, blue for a scroll wheel click, and green for right click. We will start by going up to File, Designspark Options, go down to Units, and make sure it is set to metric and millimeters. In version 6 of Designspark, they have added the ability to do constraint-based sketching. This is an option I choose not to use. Let's get started. Go to File, New, Design. Rename the design by right-clicking on Design and renaming it as Shed. Right-click on Shed and create New Component. Rename it Slab. You will now see an angled sketch plane and grid. Click on Plan View or press the shortcut V for Vector to align the grid with the screen. Select the rectangle or click the shortcut R and also click on the box to define the rectangle from the origin. Click and drag a rectangle with sides 2800 by 6000 millimeters. Press Tab to get from one dimension to the other. Click or Enter to fix the rectangle. The sketch will scale to show the rectangle. Now click on Plan Mode or shortcut D. Hold down the center mouse button and drag to angle the plane a little. Left-click on the plane, and Designspark automatically assumes you want to pull the plane to create a body. Hold down the left button and drag upwards. Enter a value of 200 millimeters and press Enter, or click the left button to accept. Let's create our walls. Right-click on Shed and add a new component. Call it Walls. Walls is in bold because it is the active component. Click on the top face of the slab to select. K for Sketch. V for Vector to orient the sketch. R for Rectangle and drag a rectangle from one corner of the slab to the other. Click on the Offset tool. Double-click on the top line of the wall rectangle. A single click will select the line, but a double click will select the whole rectangle. Move the mouse into the rectangle and an offset is created. Set the offset to 150 mm and enter. Press D for 3D mode. Click on the wall to highlight and drag to a height of 2600 mm. Let's put the roof on our shed. Right-click on Shed and add a new component called Roof. Click on the end wall. K for Sketch, V for Vector to orient. I'll bring the sketch down by dragging Control mouse wheel click. Enlarge the sketch with the mouse wheel. We know the height of the apex, so click on the construction line button. Locate the midpoint of the wall, which is marked on the line. Draw a vertical construction line for the height of the apex, say 1000 mm. From the top of this construction line, draw another vertical construction line of 250 mm. Press L for line and draw a line from the top of the first construction line to the corner of the building. Extend the line in the same direction by 400 mm. Do the same on the other side. From the bottom of the eaves, draw a line for 150 mm at right angles to the line of the roof. Draw a line parallel to the roof line up to the second construction line. Repeat for the other roof line. Press D for 3D mode and select the roof section. P for pull and click this button to pull to a face. Click on the outside of the far end wall. Carry on pulling for another 400 mm to create an overhang. Repeat to create an overhang on the other wall end. We can now delete the two construction lines. When you create a body, the colour of the body will default to the colour set in layer 0. You can assign other colours to one or more bodies. Right-click in the Layers window and add a new layer. Choose a colour for the new layer. Layers other than layer 0 can also be renamed. Once you have your colour, click on the solid inside walls to select the walls. Right-click on the new layer and assign to layer. We now need to put gable ends on the walls. Right-click on walls and make it the active component. Click on the wall. Press K and then V for vector. Press L for line and draw 3 lines to describe the gable. Press D. Temporarily hide the roof. We need a gable at each end, so click on the gable to select it. Ctrl-C to copy and then Ctrl-V to paste. You can now see that we have 2 surfaces, one of which is selected, in the structure window. Press M to move. Use the same copy to button and click on the outside of the far wall. We now have a gable at each end. With one of the gables selected, press P for pull, and using the pull to button, pull to the width of the wall. Repeat for the other gable. Make the roof visible again. We now have a completed shed without openings. Now we should put a door in our shed to give access. Make sure that walls is the active component by right-clicking. Select the long wall, K, and B for vector to create a sketch. If you want an accurate placement, then you can use a construction line. Press R for rectangle and drop down to the slab from the end of the construction line. Drag a rectangle of 2,600 by 950 millimeters. That's a bit over the top. Change that to 2,000 millimeters high. If you have accepted the door, then you can use Ctrl-Z to undo. Click to finalize. D for 3D, select the door, and P for push. Push through the door to create the void. Right-click on walls and create a new component called door. This will now be in bold. Click on the front wall of the shed. K and B for vector, then R for rectangle. Draw a rectangle to cover the door opening. D for 3D. M for move, and move the door surface into the wall by 100 millimeters. P for pull, and pull the door surface out by 50 millimeters to make a door body. Select the door body. Right-click on level 0. Assign the color to the door. We are going to put in a window. For fun, I will insert a circular portal type window, though the process is the same. Make sure that walls is the active component. Select the front wall. Press K and V for vector. If you wanted to accurately position the window, you would use two construction lines, one horizontal and one vertical. For the demo, this is not a problem. Press C for circle and draw a circle of 1,000 millimeters. D for 3D. Click on the circle to select. P for push, and push into the shed to create a void. Right-click on walls and create a new component. Call it porthole. Make sure it is the active component. Select the wall. K and V for Victor, C for circle. Drag a circle with same center and diameter as the circular hole. From the same center, draw another circle with diameter 800 millimeters. D for 3D. Select the ring and M for move. As with the door, push the ring 100 millimeters into the wall. P for pull, and pull the surface back 50 millimeters to make the frame. With the frame selected, K and V for vector. C for circle, and drag a circle from the same center 800 millimeters to the frame boundary. D for 3D. Make sure this surface is selected. In the Properties window, click on the pull down for material. Select the Library tab and choose Silica Glass. The texture options in Designspark are a bit limited, although there is at least one YouTube tutorial showing how to add different textures. If you repeatedly use a common component, say for example, a particular window, then you can draw it as a separate Designspark drawing and import it into your current model, in this case our shed. Here is a window that I have designed as a separate file. You can use a calipers to measure the length of an edge. You can also add dimensions to a drawing with a Dimensions button. Select our annotation plane and then drag away from an edge in the plane. Make sure the walls is the active component. Click on Files and import the window file. It will be imported in the middle of the walls. Also pull on the Move handle to bring it into the open. Notice that the window is imported with its original colors and textures. We can see that it is not oriented correctly, so use the horizontal rotation handle to rotate to the next orthogonal. In this case, rotate the window to 90 degrees. Use the Move to button to place the window on the wall. You can position accurately with construction lines. You will notice that the window is imported as a component in the Windows component. We need to make a hole in the wall into which to insert the window. Make sure the wall's component is active. K and V for Victor. R for rectangle and drag a rectangle to cover the window. S for select and temporarily make the window invisible. D for 3D. Select the rectangle on the wall. P for push and push the rectangle to create a hole. Make the window visible again. Select the window in Structures. M for move and move the window into the wall. I hope this has encouraged you to try some architectural drafting in Designspark. Our shed is simple, although the application is capable of more complicated designs. Here, for example, is the model of a fine late Georgian sash window. The Georgian period extends from 1714 to 1837 in the United Kingdom and covers the reigns of Hanoverians George I to George IV.